Welcome to Day and Night News Prime Debate. The Union government has finally decided to set up an overarching counter-terrorism agency called the National Counter-Terrorism Centre. The NCTC, which will formally come into force from 1st March, will have extraordinary powers. Besides, all other civil agencies have been brought under the umbrella of the NCTC. In a step aimed at strengthening various counter-terrorism measures, the government has decided to operationalize the ambitious National Counter-Terrorism Centre from 1st March. A pet project of Union Home Minister P. Chidambaram, NCTC got the approval from the Cabinet Committee on Security 3 weeks ago. The Operations Division of the counter-terrorism body has been given powers to arrest and carry out searches under Section 43A of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. Initially, the NCTC will be located in the Intelligence Bureau and headed by a director who will be an officer in the rank of Additional Director IB. It will have 3 units gathering intelligence, analysis of intelligence and carrying out operations, and each of these divisions would be headed by a Joint Director of Intelligence Bureau. The NCTC will have the power to requisition services of the elite National Security Guard according to the official order. It will integrate intelligence pertaining to terrorism, analyze the same, pursue or mandate other agencies to pursue the different leads and coordinate with existing agencies for an effective response. It will also maintain a comprehensive database of terrorists and their associates, friends, families and supporters of terrorist modules and gangs, and of all information pertaining to terrorists. Will the National Counter-Terrorism Centre help secure our country from terror, just as the Department of Homeland Security did in the USA following the 9/11 attacks? To discuss this, we are joined in the studio by 3 retired police officers. Iqbal Singh Lalpura, who held crucial appointments in the districts in Punjab during days of terrorism; V.K. Kapoor, former Additional Director General of Police in Haryana, who also served in the Intelligence Bureau; and Bhupinder Singh, former DGP of West Bengal. Welcome to our studio, all of 3 of you. Mr. Bhupinder, I'll start with you. Do you think it's a right step? I mean, it's a right step in the right direction?
I think it is. You see, our counter-terrorism strategy has been evolving over a period of time, and since Mr. Chidambaram took over the Home Ministry, a number of steps have been put in place towards this end. First of all, we had these multi-agency centers, right, the MAC, then followed by the subsidiary multi-agency activity centers, and also along with that we have been adding the special branches, right, who are contributing data or intelligence from all the states, and which is being collected and collated at the central level. So we obviously needed an agency which would be able to look at this whole thing from a different point of view in order to be able to operationalize all the data that is being collected.
Right. Now, it's considered as a pet project of our Home Minister. So NCTC has been under consideration for the past few years now. According to you, should it have, come earlier?
No, as I said, it's an evolutionary step. Until you have the data, until you have the other setup going through, then only is it possible or it is desirable that the NCTC at the head of it should be able to then work at it.
So NCTC, isn't this like one more organization that is being created? How will it really help?
Since it is going to be working under the Intelligence Bureau, so I think there should not be any problem in trying to coordinate the activities of various organizations.
Right. Mr. Kapoor, I'll come to you. Do you think it will help?
It will positively help. This is the first professional step, Now this is I'll say this is a professionalism that they have displayed. It was long overdue, and Mr. Chidambaram has been a Home Minister for a long time. He was a junior minister about 20 years back, and then he has been working. And so I think it is very good because there is all the terrorist groups all over the world. They are getting together because the world has become a global village.
Right.
In this thing, you need high-class professionals, and Intelligence Bureau being the nodal agency, and they've been doing it, and they have the database, because you have to update it. So I think it is a very, very welcome step, and it will positively help.
See, now almost on the same line, in US, a Department of Homeland Security was created. Do you see this also getting successful?
It will be very successful, yes. As I said, this is a good professional step, you know. As it is, IB is a highly professional organization.
Right.
But this thing will, and especially about data, and then those same persons and the personnel which are going to manage it have long experience of intelligence gathering, analysis, and operational.
Right.
Yeah, so
Mr. Kapoor, as we earlier discussed, that it's one more department which is being added. Don't you think there'll be like overlaps, perhaps frictions between the departments?
No, there won't be any friction. After all, you know, we are working for the same cause.
All right.
We are working for the same country, we are doing intelligence. The intelligence sharing is there, but the main thing, the objective is the same.
Right.
And when you are dealing professionally, so now there is no question of any you versus me. It is a question that we have to deliver, you see. So I think delivery will be better with this thing coming out.
Right. Mr. Lalpura, first thing first, do you think it's a right step?
Our Intelligence Bureau was always involved into collection of intelligence. I think they would be giving them power to investigate and arrest people now. This is the only thing which is new. Otherwise, I don't think it's a new step or evolutionary steps.
Right.
We have CBI there to investigate the cases.
Absolutely.
So IB was always coordinating with all these agencies.
As both the speakers also, we spoke about the other departments also, being included into it, or there will be interference, or there will be perhaps frictions between the departments. Do you see that also coming?
I think you are evolving, you are leaving the state out from the responsibility. Now it will be the responsibility of the IB only to control terrorism.
Okay.
Not the state. You will say the NCTC is there. I am not responsible.
Okay.
So basically we need to strengthen the local police if we want to control the crime, or we want to maintain the law and orders. Since during the militancy also in Punjab, when district police took over the things in their own hand, only then they could succeed.
You have worked at the grassroots level. We are talking about the districts over here. You have worked in them for a long time. Will the proposed NCTC have any effect at that level? Do you see that happening?
I don't think. IB has always been a help to the state police. So whatever the results are there, it has been a coordinated effort so far.
Right.
Any new thing happening, I don't see that it will do something extraordinary.
So you think it will be a new department, but the same old...
Actually, in India, whenever there is a problem, we try to shift the responsibility to someone else, create a new department, leave the earlier people out of the responsibility, and this way we have not done anything good. We have spoiled the system. This
just move the attention from one body to the other body.
Other body, yes. Now it will be, the states would be free, and it would be the NCTC to handle the militancy.
Right. Mr. Vinder, do you agree with that?
No, I don't. You see, we have to understand that today India is being faced by two kinds of terrorism. One is the jihadi terrorism, which is essentially an urban phenomena. And you have the Maoist terrorism, which is essentially a rural phenomena. And you also have to understand that India has been faced by terrorism which has been restricted or constricted to a certain area. You know, it's regional in nature. And you have also one which is what I would call pan-Indian. And what we are now seeing even amongst the jihadi terrorism, it's not only confined to, say, J&K. It's now to be seen in many of the urban centers of the country, across the country. Even the Maoist problem that we are facing is again across 10 to 12 states. So if we just leave it to the local police, and of course I agree with him that the local police has got a very important role to play, and so you cannot just take them away from it all. And in fact, the Home Minister and the MHA has been working overtime in trying to strengthen the local police as well. When I was the DGP, we got a lot of funds and a lot of inputs for strengthening, say, our coastal security. A lot of effort went into training our manpower towards meeting this threat. So the MHA has also been working towards strengthening the local police and the state police forces. But given the pan-Indian phenomena of this terrorism that we have been witnessing over the last decade and more, therefore we need also a centralized agency which will be able to coordinate the activities of all the various forces or various units or agencies which are deployed to counter this problem.
Agencies monitoring the other agencies or departments?
Yes, because for instance in jihadi terrorism, for that matter, even in Maoist activities, you also have issues of money laundering. So until you also bring in the agencies which look at that aspect, where the funding is from some external sources across the country, until we are able to look at all those aspects, just only a military or a police approach to this problem is not going to be very effective in the long run.
All right. Mr. Lalpura, the USA did manage to protect itself after the Department of Homeland Security was created. So, so perhaps this was the step which was long due after the 26/11 attacks in our soil.
I was with the FBI in 2006.